Okay, 4.2 is determining slope and y-intercept. Y-intercept is the y-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the y-axis. The x-coordinate to this point is always 0. So slope-intercept form of an equation is y equals mx plus b, where m will always be your slope and b will be your y-intercept. Okay, we also refer to rate of change as our slope, or m, right?
Yes.
M or slope and rate of change are the same thing. And our initial value, where we start, is going to be your b value or your y-intercept. And you'll be able to see that initial value in your graphs, like where did it start? So we're going to look at our graph first and see if we can find our slope and y-intercept. Okay, we can easily see the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, so our b value is 3. Our slope we can count, right? I can pick a point and go to another point. So I would go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I on my points? Yep, over 2.
Wouldn't you go the other way? Because wouldn't that be negative now?
Nope, you go up and over.
No.
That's a positive slope. It goes up from left to right. So my slope, my m value was 4 over 2, or?
Well, you can just go up 2.
Yep, you can. You could have went up 2
Yeah, you don't have to go
over 1. You could have. But even if you do it and do any 2 points, it's going to simplify to 2 no matter which points you take.
You get the same.
So now I'm going to use my y-intercept formula, which I have up above, or slope-intercept, y equals mx plus b, right? And I'm going to fill in my m value, and I'm going to fill in my b value. So y is going to equal, instead of m, I'm going to put in what? 2x, plus, instead of b, I'm going to put 3.
Doing it already.
So I can take that graph and I can write an equation. Okay, now the next graph, I can tell by looking at it, it's a negative slope.
Yes.
My m value must be negative. So if I start at a point and go to another point, I went down 1, 2, and over.
3.
So my slope is a negative 2/3. Good.
Mystery maker.
My b value, okay, then your b value is where it crosses the y-axis, which is at what point?
2.
Positive 2. So your equation then is going to be y equals, instead of m, I'm going to put in what? Negative 2/3 x. Instead of b, I'm going to put plus 2. So that is your equation. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing from our tables. Okay? Now your b value is going to be when x is 0. What is your y value?
5.
That's how we're going to find b. So we found x being 0. So our y value is 5. So b is going to be 5. Okay? Does anyone remember how to find slope from this table?
Yeah, it's going to be
Change in y over
Change in y over change in x. So y is changing by how many?
5.
1.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
X is changing by 2. So change in y is 1. Change in x is 2. So your slope is 1/2. So your equation is going to be y equals, instead of m, you're going to put in 1/2 x plus 5. Good. Again, we can find our b value when we know x is 0. So what is b? 3. And then how much is my y changing?
10.
Plus 10, right?
Yeah.
How much did my x change? plus 5, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be 10 over 5 or what?
2.
Okay? So my equation is going to be y equals 2x plus 3. Okay, let's go ahead and do guided practice. So turn to page 104. Page 104. Says find the slope and y-intercept of the line in each graph. So if we look at number 1, our slope, if we take the points they gave us, we could subtract them or just count them. I went down 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 2. So my slope is negative 4 over 2 or just negative 2. My intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, which is at a positive 1. Question 2. Our slope, if we count, we went up how many?
1, 2, 3.
And over.
1, 2, 3.
So our slope is,
1.
hold on a minute. We're not counting by the same. Look at you guys.
5.
We went 10. So that's 15, right? 5, 10. This should be 15. And this should be 3. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Look at those numbers. You got to look at the labels. So 5, 10, 15, and then 1, 2, 3. So really, we went 15 over 3, which is 5.
Yeah.
Then my intercept is where it crosses again. That's a negative 15. Okay, the next one, make sure we look at our graph. We're counting by ones.
Labeling no more.
So I'm going to go here to here. So I go up 1, 2, 3, over 2. So what's my slope?
3, 2. 3 over 2.
And what's my y-intercept?
2. Negative 2.
Negative
Or
2.
your slope could also be 1/2.
No, 1 and 1.
No.
But we leave them improper.
1.5. Yes.
But we could go.
Okay, no, we cannot.
I thought Jerky liked them not on proper.
Okay, so if we count, we're going by 2s, right? Oh no, it's by 3s. We're at 9. So 3, 6, 9.
Negative 1.
And then we go over 1, 2, 3. Look at how they're counting, you guys. So it'd be negative 9 since we went down. Negative 9 over 3, which is a slope of negative 3. And your intercept is at 9. Make sure you're looking at what the graph says.
Yes.
Could it also be 1?
We're going to find the slope and y-intercept from the table. Again, the y-intercept is easy because it's where it crosses when your x is 0. So what is your intercept?
Uno.
1. Now we're looking for the change in y, which is plus 6, right? Over plus 2. So it's change in y over change in x, which is 3.
Wowzer.
The intercept, again, is where it crosses, where x is 0, so your y value is 140. Your y is changing minus 20, and then plus 5, right?
Yes.
So a negative 20 over 5 gives you a negative
4.
4. So your slope is a negative 4. How can you determine the slope and y-intercept of a line from a graph? Can we not talk, please? How can you determine the slope and y-intercept from a graph? Dylan?
So like your question on number 6.
Yes. So the intercept is pretty easy. You can see it, right? So the y-intercept is the y value when x equals 0. You can see that on the graph, okay? The slope is going to be your change in y over change in x.
Yes.
Yes.